It's 6:40 in the morning, 194, home of the 194 Morning Playhouse. Amy K, Zero in the Playhouse in the morning. So if you pop online at your leisure to 194.com, highly recommend if you got a kiddo that is around prom age, or maybe you yourself are around prom age. So we're looking for Fargo Moorhead's best promposal at 194.com. This could be photos of a promposal that happened this year, maybe just some really good prom pictures of years past. But there are some awesome prize packages on there to give you the best prom ever, with Boiler Room, LA Bridal and Prom, Hair Addiction Salon in there too. Basically everything you need for prom, boom, that's the prize package.
Yeah, you're going to be getting your prom dress. You'll be able to get a gift certificate so you could get your hair done looking fabulous, and then a gift card so you can go out to eat, have a full belly before you do all your dancing.
So that is online at 194.com. I thought in honor of that, though, we would actually do the exact opposite. So these are like really good promposals and great prom pictures and things that went very well. Right? Not everybody has a great prom experience, though. Sometimes you have a prom horror story. That's what we're looking for from your prom of yesteryear that just didn't go that well. And maybe it was a couple years ago, maybe it was 20 years ago, maybe it was 30 years ago. Whenever it was, that prom horror story. Did your prom go off without a hitch, or did something bad happen?
When I was in school and it was my proms, I think they went pretty good. But my freshman year, I went to prom with my date. My boyfriend was a junior, so I was a freshman. And that was not that great because the older classmates didn't like that a freshman was there. So there were some girls that were kind of snotty. They made comments when we got there and they said, "Oh, you're the freshman at the prom." And so they were kind of rude.
But they sounded just like that, too.
Yeah, and I wasn't as sassy back then. I had a little sass, but not as sassy. So I just kind of let them be mean, but I wish I wouldn't have.
So, sass caterpillar Amy hadn't come into her butterfly sass shell yet.
Exactly.
I think that makes sense. You haven't become full ABK yet.
I wasn't full sassy, which this was when I was living in a suburb of Chicago, and the prom was so nice. We took buses, we went downtown Chicago, and it was in this beautiful venue, and we got to go on a boat after.
Did you ever have a prom horror story? It went very wrong. You see, you say horror story, and I feel like horror story. Your prom went very, very wrong. 237 hits, text 35270. Can you relate to that at all?
Oh my God! So, my date picked me up for prom. I open the door. I get inside the car, and I shut the door, and my dress got caught.
Oops. Outside
the door. I didn't know until we arrived, and it's like I step out and it's dirty, so dirty from the road. Like it's just got stains, and this is like a $500 dress. I was just horrified, and I mean, what can you do? And it was like a baby blue dress, so you could just see all of it. You know, it was horrible.
That's got to be a moment that just you're predicting is going to wreck that evening.
It was. I mean, it kind of turned out to still be a good night, once we all got drunk, and then it just got worse. It just got dirtier that night.
Oh, and that's so wild. You were 21 years old when you went to prom. Thank you for calling. We appreciate it.
Thank you. I love your show. Thanks for having me.
No, I appreciate that too, even though you just ended your prom story with and then we got drunk. It's fine. We're good. We're good. Prom horror story. What you got there, ABK?
This one's sad. My senior year, the night before prom, my date canceled, and I missed my senior prom. Someone else said my date didn't let me wear heels since he was so insecure about his height. And another person said my boyfriend of 3 years decided the best time to break up with me was while at prom, while dancing. It was awkward.
I want to do this while you're surrounded by all your friends. I think it's done.
Really? You couldn't have picked a different time before prom, after prom? Why while dancing?
Got one of these prom horror stories. 237 hits. You can text 35270. Now, if you have just the sweetest, most adorable little promposal photo, don't forget you can submit that to 194.com and get a pretty nice prize package with 194. 194.com. Miley Cyrus used to be on Playhouse 194. Talking about that time that prom didn't go so well. You could call it a prom horror story. You seen some ABK?
Yeah, someone said my sister hit me in the face before prom and I ended up with a black eye. Well, I got my makeup professionally done to cover it. And after dancing all night, the makeup started to wear it off. People thought my date did it to me. You can still see it in pictures, but I did have fun. Someone else said my friend's date spilled gravy down the front of my dress at dinner before prom. It was a pale yellow dress. It showed terribly. The waitress tried helping get as much off as possible with club soda while I tried not to cry.
I managed to dodge having to pay my share of what should have been probably something I helped pay for. This was some years ago, so I think statute of limitations is up, but got into a bit of it wasn't even a fight. It was just like a shoving thing among some fellas. There's just like a 6-guy shoving thing with some girls in their dresses going, stop! Honestly, I could not even tell you what it was about anymore. It was probably something stupid, as most of those were back in high school. But our prom was in they rented out like a hotel area in downtown Minneapolis. And they had like a giant fish tank. And I got a little angry at the shove that I received, so I really, really shoved back. And this guy nailed the fish tank.
What?
And then it tipped over.
Stop.
And we all ran away. And it was like the rest of the school year, they were trying to figure out like who broke this fish tank. Because I guess it was a fairly expensive fish tank. But even though I was the one that delivered the shove that helped break said fish tank, and even though it was like 6 guys that were like, trying to have like a 6-way fight, that brought us together because we never said anything about what happened with that fish tank.
I have a question.
Huh?
Are the fish alive?
Dead? No.
What?
No, I'm sure they all died that day.
You killed the fish.
I would imagine so.
Wow.
I'm okay with it.
That's
I've moved
so
on.
sad.
It's been a few years, so
Ew,
I'm okay.
Did the guy who fell into it, was his suit all wet?
No, because it pushed it like backwards.
Okay.
And so it's not like he landed on top of it and because then he'd had glass shoved into his back.
Yeah.
And now we have a different story. But no. So I don't know if it's a horror story. It might be a triumphant story of 6 dudes that were all about to start punching each other becoming best friends.
It could have been a horror story.
So I'd say it worked out okay.
Yeah, it could have gone a different way.
Worked out pretty good. You got a prom? Oh, you don't have the sound effect ready. Horror story.
So I was going to go with a friend who backed out on me just before prom time. And there was another girl I had been talking with mostly online. This was like in the days of AOL Instant Messenger. So I thought I knew this girl pretty well, but most of our relationship was just kind of talking online. And it turned out when we got in person, she wasn't interested in me, she wasn't even interested in being there. I have no idea why she said yes. I mean, she wouldn't dance with me. She was just kind of like sulking at the table. She clearly didn't want to be there. And it's like, you said yes. Why?
Did you pretty much just keep trying to hang out with her all night then, or?
Well, I didn't have a choice. I mean, she was there. I mean, we didn't, nothing happened afterwards, if that's what you're asking. We went our separate ways, but it was just kind of there at the table. The very last dance of the night, she was like, all right, I guess I have to dance this one. Like, great, thanks for the favor.
Sweet. You got one dance in there.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's all it needs, just that one dance.
I think prom is actually kind of boring.
Man.
There's I don't know. The first one I went to when I was in Chicago, that was a cool one because we actually went somewhere. The other ones, when I was in Taylorville, was in our gym. So that was not as exciting.
Yeah, there's something to be said for like an on-location one. There's only I know in movies they're all about dressing up the gym. And I guess, frankly, I don't even know. Somebody will have to tell us. I guess locally, are we dressing up gyms or are we renting places out? I don't even know the answer to this.
I wonder what they do in the Fargo-Moorhead area.
My kids are fairly far removed from those years. They got to get a lot older first before I know the answer to that. So.
And they act like their 3 streamers hid the fact that we're in the gym. We can tell. We know where we are.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know in Back to the Future, the Under the Sea dance did happen in their gym.
Did it look nice?
Well, then they opened up the floor. They had a pool under there, right?
What?
And then they all got wet.
What?
They literally went under the sea.
This is so cool.
I know. It's a good movie. You ever seen Back to the Future?
No.
It's a quality film.
I'll have to check it out sometime.
Prom horror stories.
Yes. Ooh. Someone else said my date accidentally stepped on my dress, pulling it down all the way to my belly button, completely exposing my chest. I wasn't wearing a bra. Someone else said my high school boyfriend broke up with me 2 days before it. It was also my 18th birthday because he wanted to be single for college.
Sad. Not the time to do it.
Did you still go?
Probably should do that after prom. We talk about breaking up before the holidays, breaking up before Valentine's Day. Let prom come and go, why don't we?
Yeah, just wait until the day after. We had a good time dancing, but not the best time.
Are there a lot of those high school relationships that anticipate, like, you're my forever person? Like, you kind of know, right?
I think when people are in high school, they don't. They're like, I'm going to marry this guy.
Like, you're like, you know what? I'm going to NDSU. And he's like, I'm going to the University of Kentucky. Like, I would imagine you probably kind of know it's not a forever thing.
Maybe there.
I know we've only dated for 6 months, but 4 years from now when college is done, we're going to find each other. Good luck with that.
I like you trying to find a school that was far away.
Kentucky?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a wonderful school. If it exists, I'm sure it's great.
I'm sure it exists.
Right, very good. Headlines, 190 forecast momentarily. Check in with E with stupid stories. Love doctors, too.
Waking up laughing every morning.
The Y94 Morning Playhouse.